The torque wrench settings is 15 to 25 Newton meters, and that